Hey guys, welcome to the show. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about our 1 year anniversary of podcasting. We are super excited to get into this with you guys, so hang tight. We'll be right back with you.
Welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast, where two lifelong horror fans talk all things horror. Pour yourself your favorite drink and hang out. Here are your hosts, Josh and Jake.
You heard my nephew. Welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast. My name is Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And like we mentioned at the beginning, on today's episode, we are going to be talking about our 1 year anniversary of podcasting together. Today, December 13th, 2022, the day we're recording this. Of course, it's going to come out on Thursday, but who cares? We're very excited about the fact that two normal guys who just decided one day at a bar, we are going to start a horror podcast. Missed a couple of episodes, of course. We live lives. We're very busy guys. We have full-time jobs. But here we sit every week doing our best to bring you guys amazing horror content. And we just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining us every Thursday.
Yeah, thank you very much. We definitely do appreciate it.
We do. So,
365 days.
365 days of podcasting. Is there anything you want to let the people that might be new to our channel know?
Of course. As always, like and subscribe on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify.
Yep.
Google.
Mm-hmm.
Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Anchor.
Yep.
Also, Instagram. J Squared Horror Podcast. Link tree in the bio. Every Thursday.
New episodes every Thursday.
Those two.
As you can tell, we're both in very good moods about this. Jake mentioned on another episode that he didn't even think that this was even going to become a thing.
Yeah, so I thought it wouldn't be a thing. And if it became a thing,
Yeah.
a couple of months, you probably stopped doing it.
Yeah. Here we are.
Yeah.
365 days later.
That's crazy.
And many, many, many different things that have happened
Yeah, we've changed locations.
over this time.
We've changed different topics, themes, movies.
We
Did some Marvel shit one time.
which everyone loved, the Marvel versus horror episode.
Yeah, they all loved it.
Even though we started talking about Batman a lot, which is DC. Ironic.
Yeah, it's all the same shit.
See, this podcast is a completely unscripted, barely planned podcast. Like, there are times where we decide what we're talking about the day we're sitting together.
That is very true.
Like, when we turn this camera on, when we turn our equipment on, sometimes we're literally flying off the seat of our pants.
Yeah, sometimes I know for me, it can be difficult at times to get yourself in that mental space.
Yeah.
To think about the topic you thought about an hour ago.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, well, I got to hit on this and think about that.
Yeah. Sometimes the theme episodes are a little tricky. Movies, when we first started this podcast, we were like this just like cliche review podcast.
We had notes.
We had notes.
We were watching movies together.
We were watching movies together. We were trying to find our identity through this. And I think that one of the things that we ultimately wanted to do was be as natural as possible. Natural in the sense of who me and Jake are as people. Anybody that knows us outside of the podcast knows this is who we are. The banter, the fun, the extreme opposite viewpoints. It's all things that who we are as people. So, of course, some people might say, oh, we wish you would argue every episode, because those are very good episodes. When me and Jake disagree, we disagree. But that's not the podcast that we necessarily wanted.
Yeah, I know when we first started,
Yeah.
I told you I want to do like a traditional like podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do the YouTube shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to just talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And I did unfortunately force your hand at the YouTube shit
Yes,
in particular, which, hindsight's 2020, And it's like, yes, we turn on a camera every week. We got lighting. We have good outfits. We try to look cute. But I did force Jake without his permission. So it's fun. It's really funny because I hope you don't, but if you do, go back to the first ever video that J Squared Horror put out.
What the first
the intro to J Squared Horror, where it's just our logo,
Yikes.
which is beautifully put up behind us thanks to my mom.
Love it.
It's
I point right way too.
I know we're getting the camera figured out
look
after
at
a
that.
year. After a year, we can point.
I'd be all over the fucking place.
Yeah, if it was like your apartment, it would be you'd be like this. Sorry, he would be pointing off for the audio listeners. But so I actually sat on the bathroom floor of where I was living and recorded my laptop playing the audio with our image. I had to keep shaking the mouse. So if you look carefully, every once in a while, you'll just see the cursor at the bottom of the video because I'm making sure it doesn't fall asleep. But basically, what that means is we have grown significantly.
Yeah, we've grown a lot.
A lot. We've made equipment purchases, ideas, upgrades. Not necessarily idea upgrades because we have kind of stayed true. Not everybody likes every episode. We get that. There's movies that you guys will never watch. We get that. We, of course, hope that, when you see the title, when you see the movie, you guys would go back and you pause it, come back to it later, watch the movie, and then really enjoy our content. But we hear that you can enjoy the content without it. However you decide to enjoy the J Squared Horror Podcast, we're okay.
It's just as long as you enjoy it.
Yeah, as long as you guys are getting something out of it. If it's the fun and the funniness that you get out of it, sweet. If it's the arguing and the banter that we bring pretty much every week, we appreciate all the feedback. Don't be scared to comment. We are just two normal guys, and every comment that we get, you guys might not see it, but we do talk about it every week. Any comment that comes onto YouTube, Instagram, anything. And, we originally started off, hey, submit movie ideas. And then we were assholes and we were like, your movie ideas suck. And we just stopped. Maybe we can circle back after a year of doing this. I think we should circle back. We do have an email. I'm working on getting the website a little bit better. That's very tricky for two guys that have never done anything like this before. But ultimately, we want the J Squared Horror fan base to get everything that they want out of it, each and every person. And that sounds like a big feat to try to get.
It is.
And we're only going to stay true to ourselves throughout this entire process. But at the same time, if you are like, I don't care, I want you to cover this movie, maybe we can put it up to a fan vote, maybe we can put a couple of fan ideas up to the fans. That could be something that we've
done that a few times. Movie suggestion, like a voting poll.
We have, but never for what the fans have suggested. That could be a good idea.
Yeah, that's true.
So, is there a particular episode that you don't care for? We're up to damn near 50 of these things.
That I do not care for.
Yeah, one that you could delete from the existence of the J Squared Horror Podcast.
I can think of two.
Oh, shit. All right, two. All right.
Yeah, I'm very rough on the podcast.
We are our biggest critics.
I think the very first one I can think of would probably be the Shining episode.
Whoa.
Yeah. Not because of the content or anything. Just dude, we're just sitting there on the couch, holding, not even just holding, holding mic like we're doing now.
Stands.
Holding the stands.
Literally holding
at a weird fucking angle.
It's just crotch shots.
I'm just my throat doing weird things. I'm flipping through pages. There's a lot going on.
It was our second episode ever.
Yeah, still.
And we covered The Shining. Of course, we're going to be nervous.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, this is a good one to start with.
It has a lot of views.
I was like, fuck me, it wasn't.
It does. It is crazy, though, to think that, we used to sit on your couch at your apartment when we started out. We didn't have a table. We didn't have a backdrop. And like I said, I sat on the bathroom floor, and then our second episode is an awkward crotch shot of me and Jake from an iPhone.
Yeah. But now think about it. My refrigerator.
Oh, dude,
Was
when
always
we
so loud.
moved when we moved from the couch.
I never hear yours ever.
No, my shit's cool. Like it stays.
My shit's loud as fuck.
Yeah, no, this. You'd think I'm a millionaire, but I'm not. It's not a nice refrigerator by any stretch of the means. But yeah, your refrigerator used to be loud as shit. But also, like, we didn't understand that, like, at that time, we were using camera audio.
Yeah.
We do not use camera audio. We use our professional grade equipment for our audio. That's why I think our YouTube and our, like, there is no sound difference between our YouTube and our streaming, like our audio listeners. Like, you guys technically get the exact same audio file. And that is something that I decided to do with not even research, just like, will this work? So I don't know if you guys know, you might, but me and Jake don't come from technology backgrounds. You guys have heard on the podcast before, we come from sales, a lot of like customer service oriented jobs. Mm-hmm. We're not tech savvy at all. Like if you saw the camera that we use, you guys might be able to tell by the quality of the videos, but this is not top of the line stuff. Now our audio, we've definitely put the most money into.
Yeah, we got the best in the business right here.
Yeah, we decided a month ago to upgrade our audio equipment. We were lucky enough, the guy that does our intro and our outro, Lucky Riggs, hooked us up with our first setup as far as the audio equipment. So of course we were super thankful we used it, but we've hit so many hurdles and hiccups using like other equipment. And like, so like I do all the editing. I do, a lot of the stuff that happens in the background. So like sometimes using older equipment and like stuff that isn't like user friendly would be very tricky. It's the reason why when we first started out, we missed a couple, like some would just be audio on YouTube and like a picture and like pictures popping up throughout the video. Like we try our best to still give all of our fan base content of some sort. But there's just been so many hurdles that we have to get through as two guys that have never touched this a day in our lives. Like I said, sitting on the bathroom floor, video, random images popping up on YouTube because the camera memory card wasn't properly placed in the back of it. Like,
it's weird. So many things like having like battery issues.
Yeah, dude.
Or forgetting to hit record.
Sometimes. Yeah, we've forgotten to hit record. The camera has died on us. I didn't put the memory card in properly one time, I'm sure. And like the R8 or the old audio equipment, same things would happen. Like there was one time where we had to re-record.
Yeah.
Which we are a press and go. Like we don't, like I'm talking about editing, and this is how like of a novice I am. The editing that I have to do is like elementary compared to like most podcasters and YouTubers out there. Like, I look at it and I go, I have to drop a couple images in. I have to delete a little bit of the bullshit at the beginning. I have to make sure that, like, the intro and the outro music is in there. But now, with our upgraded equipment, like, a lot of that stuff's gone. But, like, yeah, it is crazy to think that, like, we hit a button and what you guys hear is exactly what happens in this house, like, in our studio. As we could so call it.
Yeah, it is. Oh, also, got a little dad joke real quick.
Already?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a free-for-all episode, so have at it, bud.
I don't want to forget it. So, okay. What do you call...
Only Jake, guys.
What do you call a bear with no teeth?
A gummy bear.
That's right. Good, man. That was good. Okay. I have one more that I'll save for later.
You don't want to... Okay, you're going to give them something to look forward to.
Yeah, I don't want to blow it too quick. Oh.
You never want to do that.
Yeah.
All right, what were you going to say?
Oh, yeah. So another episode I'm not the biggest fan of is, I love the movie, was The Mutilator.
There you go.
Now, not because I didn't enjoy the episode. The fact that I said
Butilator?
Butilator?
You technically said Butilator before the episode even came out.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah. Butilator was after Dr. Sleep, or one of those episodes.
Well, what's crazy is in my mind, I knew I said Butylator. I didn't mean to, but I couldn't go back and fix it.
Because I was on the couch still. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
may have been. So the next day, all I could think about was, fuck. I said Butylator. That's not a thing.
What movie are we covering up next week, Jake? Butylator.
I said it like so like confident.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but
this movie is called The Butylator.
You have
I feel like I've done pretty good since it.
You have your own struggles that you go through.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought about that for a little. Even like now, I'll like scroll through. I'm like, fuck, dude. Good movie though. Well, when did part 2 came out yet?
No, we would have seen by now.
Probably. Okay. All right. So what are your? If you had to get rid of one, what would it be? I think I know the answer already.
Yeah. So before I'm gonna go ahead and say it. My episode that I would delete, and that I'm very disappointed in myself in. This isn't a shot at the podcast or Jake. It is purely a shot at myself. Was Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, where you guys got an untrue Josh. We try to stay true to ourselves as much as possible. But this is episode. It's pre-10. So, you're still going through this, like, miniature identity crisis of, like, who you should be as, like, the host or as a partner in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Jake have had, like, amazing arguments at bars and just through our friendship about Halloween 3 Season of the Witch in particular. Now, I think that rewatching it with him did play a lot into like me changing like who I was.
I was very judgmental.
Yeah,
as I was watching. Yeah,
he was hating it the whole time, and I just I fed into it. I don't feel like I brought the most Josh-like qualities.
You think if you watched it alone, you have different?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I haven't rewatched it since that episode.
Good.
But you got to admit, man, we had some really good arguments in our day about Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Yeah, we did.
And I failed. And that's what a lot of people enjoy about our podcast, too.
I wouldn't say you failed per se, but maybe
it wasn't my best content.
Or it could have been. Just hear me out. From watching it again, you realize there's a lot of holes in this movie.
Who cares, though? I should have still, for like content purposes, like stood my ground.
I mean,
for myself.
If it was how you felt, then yeah.
Who knows how I felt? It changes per week.
Okay. Do you have a favorite episode?
It's a really, really tough question. It is. Because there's episodes that like I'm super proud of. Obviously, being at 1.3 thousand views on YouTube, Halloween 1978 immediately pops into my mind because of the success it's had on YouTube, which is huge for us. Like we never, in our first year of podcasting, tell me right now, we thought we would have over 20 views on one episode.
No, we'd always joke, what, like 2 or 7?
We'd 2 to 10, max, ourselves and our family.
And that'd be it.
And then, through being who we are in different places and doing different events and things, we've definitely grown this channel more than we thought. And, of course, there's, like, algorithmic type things that happen on YouTube that you can't describe. Mm-hmm. That's definitely, I think, a lot of the success of Halloween 1978. But for me, my favorite, the one that I'm like super duper proud of, the Would You Rather episode.
That was good. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was good.
The Would You Rather episode really pops into mind because it was like one of the better themed, like what other podcasters or like famous TikTok or YouTube people are doing. And we took our horror shot at it, and I felt like it did really well.
I feel like it did too. And it was fun.
So, before I say that, I do have a Would You Rather for Jake.
Okay.
I do. I set it up that way.
That was
unscripted,
good.
but still, I'm working my best over here. All right. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I'm gonna ask it because there's a Would You Rather that came across my page the other day.
Okay.
Would you rather?
That's your Would You Rather voice.
Would you rather voice?
Would you rather?
Would you rather be never able to watch an old movie again?
Okay.
Or to only be able to watch old movies? There we go. To only be able to watch old movies?
Okay.
or never be able to watch a new film that comes out ever?
I would rather be able to never watch an old movie.
What?
Yeah.
You would rather never be able to watch Jason Takes Manhattan ever again?
I know that movie like the back of my hand. Side story real quick. So today, I went to the antique shop
Yeah.
that we have around on the boulevard down
Yeah.
there. I was looking for a copy of Jason Takes Manhattan
Yeah.
just to pick up, just to bring to you
Especially
today.
at an antique store.
Yeah. They had like almost every other Friday the 13th besides I thought, oh, well, I guess they're all sold out then.
Of course, that's where your head would go.
But yeah, I feel like I would definitely rather be able to not watch the old ones because there's new content coming out,
Yeah.
which could be remakes of old ones,
Yeah.
some new original ideas.
Yeah.
Plus, they may eventually make a new Friday the 13th. I won't be able to see that.
They are. They're in the process of doing it right now.
So, what about you?
You know, prior to this interaction with my best friend, I would have easily said never watch a new one.
What?
Yeah.
Never watch a new one?
Just the thought of never being able to watch Shaun of the Dead again, Halloween 1978. Hell, there's a laundry list of movies that I watch. I just watched Black Hawk Down last night until midnight.
Yeah.
I enjoy that movie.
That's
It's fucked
good.
up to say, but I do.
That's good.
It's a really good movie. It's amazing how many actors and actresses are in that actors are in that movie. There's only men in this movie, but it's amazing that the amount that you like. Wait, that guy's in Game of Thrones. That guy's fucking Tom Hardy. Like it's
Yeah.
insane. But anyway, it's really tough because you brought up the point that I didn't think of. I have already seen that, so I can't miss it. I just have to think about it again.
Yeah.
That's the key point.
Yeah. The movie doesn't disappear from
It doesn't disappear
Existence.
from your head. Like if it was like, you'd never be able to watch an old movie or remember an old movie again. But then it's like, well, I can't remember it.
Yeah.
So,
Because
but yeah.
that would mean if I watch a new one, the next day it's now old to me, so I forget it anyway.
But I also think the podcast wouldn't do very well if we couldn't cover some of the newer stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and even though, you know, when we started this podcast, we were like, we're gonna do like 80s slashers and just like share information and like spread awareness
that
on
was
movies that
100%
people
my
never
goal.
heard of.
But I was like,
And then we got views,
I was like, damn,
lack thereof.
this not a good idea?
Yeah. So let us know in the comment what you guys think as, you know, a plethora of fans of our podcast. Like, do we cover a good amount? Is there like a certain era we're missing? If you say the 90s or the 2000s, I'll punch you in the face myself. But if there's another era of horror you think, I mean, I think we cover it pretty well. But we did decide that, you know, just doing that would sell us short on content.
Yeah, as much as I was totally against that, and I definitely want to do, maybe we should have done just like an 80s slasher podcast.
You still think that?
Not now.
But I'm saying that's how we started.
I know.
We wanted to like
And I
talk
was-
about obscure 80s horror
I was
films.
pushing that shit hard.
And we did pretty early on. It didn't do as well as we had hoped,
Yeah.
which should not, you know, and we're speaking on like truths here. Like this isn't stuff that like I ever planned on admitting on the microphone. But, you know, when you're putting out content, you're putting yourself out there, you know. You guys can find me on social media across the board.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have as much to worry about.
Yeah, I'm not there.
But still, like, you know, our views and our fans that we've grown over time, and like we used to shout out people that were like asking us to cover stuff. Do you remember the feeling that we had when we saw Spike Durden
Yeah.
pop up in our email
That's how
asking
that's
us
how
to cover
That's how we did the mutilator.
the mutilator?
Because of him.
That's what I'm saying. Like where are those guys?
I don't
Like,
know.
are they still here? Like,
Yeah,
are
well-
those Josh and Jay? Are they still here?
Well,
Did we get completely cocky in
No.
like the 80 view episodes?
I mean,
and the 100
here-
view episodes?
here are my thoughts. In the course of us doing this podcast,
Yeah.
we have made, I think, like some good friends.
Good friends. Yeah.
We've met some really good people.
Yeah.
So they're still there. Are they there on YouTube leaving comments and shit like that? Probably not.
No.
But they're there in person for us.
They are.
And they come to our events.
Yeah.
They buy our merchandise.
Yeah.
They give us feedback on episodes.
Yeah.
And to me, that means more.
It should to me, too.
Does it not?
I don't want to say that because they're going to be listening to this episode.
They are.
But, like, there's a part of me being, like... so I'm not saying
boy.
that, like... No, you got to think about it, man. Like, I'm not taking any shots at you right now. But, like...
I would hope not.
No, but, like... This is my baby.
Okay.
And I know you have grown into this being your baby, too.
Yeah, I'm a part of this with you.
You are. You are a joint ownership.
Mhm.
You know, just to let you guys know the dynamic of our podcast and our business. 45, 10% goes to my sister. Like, we are as equal people as we can be. But, like, this was something that I created in my head. I chose Jake to be a part of it.
And I accept it.
He accepted, and he has excelled beyond measure as my co-host / host / trivia guy, whatever you want to call him. He is loved more by our fans. He has pushed himself out of discomfort levels, especially on like YouTube and like reaching out to fans and doing trivia nights with me. And like, he has grown significantly, but like this was something that I had. So like, sometimes I just wish that like people online could like see the banter that we have. Cause like, yeah, we get it, but like, I want, like, if people don't see it, maybe they won't participate. You know, like, I just want people to feel comfortable. And I feel like we started off so strong because, like, we were getting emails and we were getting, like, people at your work were coming up to you, leaving you, like, lists of movies. And then we got big-headed and we're like, those aren't worthy of our podcast.
So my thoughts are sometimes when things are fresh and new,
Yeah.
people are super into it.
Yeah.
But the people who've stuck around, those are the true, not to say, yeah, I'll say it, fuck it. Those are the truer fans that I would prefer.
Yeah.
People who were there, they're into it. Every time they see you, they talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, those are people, not people who, okay, we just started, I'll watch the first few episodes and then I'll never probably think about it ever again.
And whatever their reasoning is, like, it's fine. But, like, we do appreciate the people that have stuck around. You're right. And, you know, I get it. When we started out, our audio listener numbers were impressive. They were impressive. And they're not impressive anymore. Now that's because we started off and had this momentum, and we have a lot of people in our lives that wanted to support us when we were starting stuff out, and a lot of those people have stayed true. I'm just wondering, like, where the other 40 of them went. Was it that bad, guys? Like, is our content that terrible?
Well, you know what? We may have lost those 40.
We may have lost the 40.
We gained like 4 or 5
true
ones.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to sound like a piece of shit here, because there are fans of ours that say that I'm the more diva-esque of the podcast.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the first word that popped into my head. I can be a bit much if you've met me in person and you're a fan of the podcast. I'll be a jerk.
Well,
I will.
I feel like also that's why it works.
The dynamic.
If we were both like that, one, no one would ever listen to our podcast
ever again,
or probably talk to us in person.
Yeah,
we were both just dicks all the time.
So how do you feel with this whole being in person thing? So something that we did not even foresee happening when we started this podcast was trivia. We host trivias. We've hosted 8 in total.
Yeah.
8 horror trivias in total. Now, we aren't the first that have done it in our area, but we haven't heard of many other horror-specific trivias not in October. We were doing this shit in, like, June. And luckily,
for whatever reason,
luckily we were asked, and I had kind of talked about it to some people that worked at some local places, and we were asked, and the first one went surprisingly well. The second one went very well, and then we got a gig at a place we never foresaw us getting a gig at. what you have to realize through all of that is even though we did so well in a particular place, me and Jake are not the ones to back down from anyone coming at our creativity and how we present ourselves and how we do our stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you have to stay true to yourself. Because it's, in essence, it's not the podcast,
It's not,
but it's still like it's us.
Yeah.
And we do things a certain way. We want to do it this way. We don't want to be run of the mill like everybody else is.
We don't.
Now, trivia. When we first started, even now still, I get so nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like tapping my foot.
Yeah, a lot of shots.
Pacing up
if
and
there's
down.
alcohol
Yeah.
nearby.
The thought of being in front of people, and I think the whole they couldn't hear my voice thing, that was like annoying the shit out of me.
You know, and
There was a dude there one time. I wanted to take his face and slam it through the table.
yeah, so Jake comes across as a sweetheart,
I am.
but he definitely is. He's who he is. Like, he doesn't like certain things, and when you open yourself up to criticism or people being able to, and people's audacity in today's world is pretty insane. You know, we're two guys that, you know, we've mentioned it a handful of times, hundreds of times, if, you know, not hundreds because we've only done a couple episodes, but
well, if we did 2 each episode,
yeah, if we mention this twice, but we are ultimately just two guys that have a genuine love for horror, and want to share that with anyone who's interested. And the way we go about sharing that is up to us. And if, like, would you go up to somebody that is performing music and being like, hey, we like your covers a lot more than we like your original music. Can you just stick to the covers? Or would you go up to the guitarist that is doing backup vocals and be like, hey, bro, can you turn up your mic a bit? We couldn't quite hear you in that last song. Like, it's the audacity to come up to two people that are performing and think that it's okay. Like, pull us up after the fact, after we finish the event, and you happen to say some stuff like, I can't stop you. And of course, I don't know your names, but think about it from our perspective, being two guys that are just ultimately trying to share fun and enjoyment out of horror.
I think it's because maybe I come off very approachable.
Regardless.
So it's like, hey, I give him just, you know, some insight or
a
couple things. He's not going to get upset or anything. But
of course, you're playing the devil's advocate over here. Like, dude, stand your ground.
That's true, though, because even like with you, I mean, you're very, this is how it is. This is how I want to do it.
I'm in control.
But if you're still like open to hearing it, though. Right?
Yeah, in the right.
Yeah.
You have to present it to me in the right way.
So you're saying you got to read the room?
One of my favorite sayings. I should do a Read the Room t-shirt because, like,
you should.
one of my favorite words in the world to use is audacity. Like, it's fun to say, first of all. But second of all, like, come on, man. Read the room. All right? Like, I know you're not in our heads. You're not on our sheets. You're not a part of what we're doing. But in trivia in particular, like, we did it our own way for a reason. And even though you couldn't hear Jake per se, I was still out in the crowd handling business, making sure people were still getting the questions. And of course, like, we've gotten feedback on YouTube from a fan or from somebody that was listening to us to the first time.
I mean, she might still be a fan.
They presented it to us on YouTube because I asked you guys almost every week, comment down below. You know, let us know what you thought.
And someone listened.
Someone did. And they said, hey, it's hard to hear Jake. They said the guy in the certain colored shirt at the time. I went out 3 weeks later and dropped a half a stack on a piece of equipment so that we can still continue to bring our best content to you guys. And I can crank Jake up even louder if I so choose. That is fine. I was just upset in how it was presented to us in a environment which we were uncomfortable. And of course, we can be bad guys for saying this. It's just how they decided to present it at this particular place.
Yeah. But now we've gone to a new location.
We've gone to new locations.
Yeah.
We've done more. And it, and whether you ever get back on that microphone again or not,
I don't intend to.
Yeah, I know you don't intend to. It breaks my heart a little bit, but at the end of the day,
you hear my voice all the time.
yeah, if you want to listen to J Squared Horror Podcast, Instagram, YouTube,
Yeah, we got
Spotify.
We got a link tree in the bio.
link tree in the bio, new episode.
Yeah,
Every Thursday.
all the new episodes. Forgot about that.
Yeah. That's
Oh, also,
I don't even know how you messed that up.
I don't know either.
It's okay. You're nervous.
Yeah. So my favorite episode.
Can I at least ask you? Fuck.
Oh, well, you didn't earlier, so I thought maybe you forgot.
We went on a tangent.
Oh, bring it back. Go ahead and ask me.
Did I say what mine was? No. Go ahead. What's your favorite
Wait,
episode?
did
buddy?
you?
Nope. Go ahead.
Oh, we didn't get there yet. Yeah.
All right.
So what's your favorite episode?
My favorite episode is
No, yeah, right. You started, then you
Yeah.
stopped.
My favorite episode that we have done is Hell House LLC.
Really? Okay.
I feel like with us finding our identity through like movies and themes, we brought a lot to that episode. That is kind of not both, but we did very good content on a movie that not a lot of people have heard of. And we have talked to the director, and that might be something that might be coming up soon, an interview with him. So yeah, Hell House LLC. It was also a movie that one of our fans had suggested. Big shout out to Courtney at Jerry's for always suggesting the great movies, minus one. But
I said they're not always great, but yeah, that was a good one.
Hell
yes.
House LLC is my favorite. So what was your favorite, bud?
Let's see. Favorite episode. I again have two. The first one would probably be the episode about nothing.
Your birthday episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was
Our
fun.
first viral episode.
Yeah, that was fun. First one reached over 100 views.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
And a quickness, too.
Yeah, we know. It was my birthday.
It was the first non-movie we'd ever done.
Yeah, it was.
Speaking of flying off the seat of our pants,
Uh-huh.
we were highly intoxicated that episode.
Yes, you're right.
It was a birthday episode. We had already been out to the bar and put that gem
Yeah, it was fun.
together.
Second favorite would be, I mean, this may not come out as a surprise, or maybe come as a surprise, the Final Girl episode.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I love that one.
Yeah. Also interesting because that was the same day. We created those lists on your
Yeah,
couch.
we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah. So I thought it was fun. We gave good reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
I'm sure people thought I was going to say the Jason Takes Manhattan episode, but no,
I didn't even realize we did that as an episode, but yeah, we
that
did.
was the very next week.
Oof.
We were riding the high of my birthday,
Yeah. And phew.
crash and burn.
It's interesting. So it's like, the one thing that I loved about, or what I love about our podcast and who we are as people is there's certain things that we don't cover, which is, something we'll always stand by. Like certain things that happen in a lot of horror films that we will never cover.
Yeah.
Even though we were corrected on one, but we haven't covered that movie. But just also the fact that, like, on a Final Girl episode, it had jack shit to do with looks or anything like our Final Girl episode was legitimate, like what they survived and like what they went through.
Yeah.
So I just appreciate that as just two men who are doing topics
Yeah.
in today's world. It's a dangerous world out there when you're putting content out there. You listen to the Hush episode, we'll be canceled. So
First of all,
just
that Hush episode,
that's a very good episode.
it's a good episode.
It's a very good episode.
It's a good movie.
Very good movie.
I enjoy it.
Just, the jokes are great. Top notch.
They're probably a bit much, but
Nah.
do you remember who your number one Final Girl was?
My number one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
It's the girl from Ready or Not.
Erin?
What?
No, that's your next. What's the girl name for your? What's her name?
I just know her. The actress's name is Samara Weaving.
Yeah, okay.
Who was yours?
Jenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking loser.
First of all, good movie.
Okay.
Good Final Girl.
Yeah.
It's a good costume to wear too.
If you guys want to hear our content on that, go back and listen to it.
I'm just saying. Like it was good.
Yeah.
So what's next?
For the podcast?
Yeah, for 2023, a whole new year coming up.
Woo! Man. We do spend a lot of time trying to figure out what will grow us. And obviously content, what you guys say. And I think a big part of that is going to be including our fan base more. I feel like when we started off, we did it very well. I feel like we've fallen away from that. This is just me calling us both out. More me in particular. But including our fan base more, trying to get more fan interactions via whether it's Instagram or YouTube, email, getting some of their movies out there, movies that they want us to cover. Also, I would really, really love to do interviews, maybe do like call-in episodes. One of the biggest reasons we upgraded this piece of audio equipment is to prepare ourselves. We can do in-person interviews. We can do on the phone interviews. We can do computer interviews. We can have people, literally call in live on Tuesdays if we so choose. But I think doing stuff like that to where, you realize that we are just two dudes winging it. And including some fans in that is going to be a lot of fun.
I agree.
Because we, ultimately, I would like to be a fan-based podcast, which any podcast is. All of them love the support. That's kind of how you can keep doing your thing. We also have some big news for local people or people that can travel for horror conventions. We've mentioned our fun that we've had as customers or patrons of a convention, but there is a local convention called the Tidewater Horror Convention, which we are actually going to have a table at, where we can do on-the-spot interviews, we can do signings, or probably will not sign a single thing while we're there, but just the opportunity to be completely engulfed in the local horror community.
I mean, we may sign some stuff.
I just don't foresee it personally. But we might, but I don't foresee it. And that's not a shot at any of our fans. We're just not that. We're not at that place yet.
It's also a shot at us.
It's a shot at us for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, we are going to be at the Tidewater Horror Convention. We are going to have a table. We are a vendor there all weekend long. And we would love to have any. It could be one. It could be two. People just come out to say hi to us in person. We'll have our equipment. We'll be ready to do on-the-spot stuff. And I'm very excited about it because I think ultimately when you meet us, you realize that we are two genuine people. We do give a shit about horror. We do give a shit about community. And bringing our fans into this is going to be a lot of fun.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's some of the 2023 stuff.
All right.
I think that's the biggest stuff we have.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, fuck.
Trying to see if I had different thoughts. I don't.
I mean, we talked about doing but we ain't done shit with that.
That is true.
Damn. What?
No.
What?
I forgot the other dad joke.
What?
I knew I should have said it up front.
Think about it.
I should have said both. Okay, I'll
Think about it.
Okay.
Um.
Oh, so it's not a dad joke per se, but it's like, I guess you're having, what is it called? Like a conversation? Not that I don't know what a conversation is, but anyway.
You're losing them. You're
Okay.
losing them. Reel them back in. Reel them back in.
All right. So, okay. So a guy's talking, so I'll be the guy.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, I got some work done on my roof yesterday. Didn't cost me a thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was on the house.
Guys.
You guys are welcome. You guys are very welcome.
Sorry, it's cold out. We got a little bit of tickles. Jake legitimately thinks these are funny. Every dad joke.
Yeah, I do.
Like, this is not a joke. This is
Yeah.
not a ploy.
So, like, during Halloween season,
Yeah.
those, like, gravestones, like the puns on them,
Oh, I hated them.
I
He
find
loved
them
like every
hilarious.
single one.
because they're good.
It's like,
One was like Candy Stealer
yeah, shit like that.
or like Jim Shorts. So, yeah, I find that amusing. Yeah.
Gosh.
I'm easy to entertain.
He is. He's very easy to entertain. Shit. I thought we'd have a lot more.
A lot more dad jokes?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can think of one. On the spot.
This is like your thing.
Yeah, I got nothing.
That's fine. This
Sure.
is a fairly long episode
Yeah,
as
yeah.
it stands.
Okay, yeah.
So ultimately, I guess shit, we just kind of shared some barely insight into the J Squared Horror Podcast.
Oh, I do have one. Okay.
Fuck, here it is.
What do you call a dinosaur with a good vocabulary?
What?
A thesaurus.
That was good. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Thank
A
you.
thesaurus.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Don't cry over there.
I'm really trying not to. As soon as I remember
Look
that.
at him. Look at him.
As soon as I remember
Look at him.
that,
Look at him.
this is going to get him.
Oh, if you guys find that Jake's dad jokes funny, comment down
Boy.
below. Some dad jokes, and we'll read them the next episode.
I would do an episode just reading dad jokes the entire time.
Well, we can't. We're a horror podcast, and I already did that. All the ones I could find that were good. So just keep that in mind. But if you guys come up with any dad jokes, comment, email, all that stuff.
And I will read them.
He
during
will
the
read them
episode.
during the episode. I guarantee that. So yeah, we ultimately this was just a big fucking thank you to every single one of you that listened to us, whether it's every week, every other week, every couple of months. I don't care. Thank you to every single one of you for giving us time out of your day. Hopefully you get some enjoyment out of our podcast.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Big shout outs to the people that have supported us since day one. Like Jeff Balance, who does our design work. If you go back earlier in the podcast, I like to call you Jeff Bridges every once in a while. Those all nerves.
The good old days.
The good old days. But big shout out to Jeff Balance. He does all of our design work. Any amazing thing you either wear, you see. He's working on a new logo for us right now, which I'm very excited about. Also, a big shout out to Lucky Riggs. This guy's giving me advice on audio equipment, on things like that. But he also took time out of his busy schedule, being in like 10 bands, working and doing our intro and our outro music. Thank you, Lucky, from the bottom of our hearts for doing amazing music for our podcast. It fits us very well. A big shout out to Trademark Printing, who just recently joined the J Squared Horror fam and doing all of our printing needs. We love it. We got hoodies, we got koozies, we got all sorts of cool stuff. A big shout out to Jake for being the guy that I decided to do a podcast with and exceeding my expectations.
Well, thank you.
So thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
As always, thank you guys so much for tuning into the J Squared Horror Podcast. My name is Josh.
And I'm Jake.
You guys have a great week. And remember, it's hip to be squared.